So this guy, they do an article on CNBC, okay? On the CNBC article, it states, what are Gen Z men, what are their top 10 priorities, okay? You know what men had as number one?
No.
What do you think it is?
I have no idea.
Having children,
I don't
okay?
know.
Do you know what, this is Gen Z. Gen Z is 13 to 28.
Right.
So think like when you're that age. Young men today, between 13 to 28, their number one was having children. You know what it was for women?
What was it?
Number 10.
Really?
Number 10 is for women and number one is for men. So boys, young men, and Rob, I'm sure yeah, I think it's going to be somewhere on the chart as you go through it. Is that the one? No, go a little bit lower, you'll see it. So to me, a part of it is, yeah, you look at that right there. Male voted for Trump. Number one, having children. Female voted for Harris. Okay, go a little lower. Go a little lower. Look at number 10. Keep going. Maybe not even number 10. 11 being married. Oh, 12 is children. So not even 10. So to me, I think what happened the last 5 years, it was pinning everybody against everybody. It's kind of like the story you told when Kamala Harris came to your team and they pointed a finger at you, and what did they say? They said, hey, Sean, you better support us or else.
No, so there was two occasions. She went up to one of my vice presidents who was at an Emily's list event, and Joan Corey, she's one of our vice presidents, very classy woman, said, oh, I'd love to get a picture with you. I'm Joan Corey, I'm vice president for the Teamsters Union. She turns, gets stern, and you better get on board. Your organization better get on board.
How can she say that?
It's truth. So this lady, Joan Corey, is probably one of the most honorable people in the world. She comes back and tells us this whole story. So I call, and we were still going through our polling. This was early on. I call Marty Walsh, who's a good friend of mine, who was the labor secretary and then took a job with the NHL Players Association. He wasn't the labor secretary. I go, do you think this is a problem or no? He's like, oh, I'll find out. I'll see what it is. Nothing gets done with it. Then she comes to our round table, which every single candidate came to. And long story short, that was a nightmare dealing with that administration as far as getting her to the table in front of our rank and file members. And what she did was at the end, because she really didn't answer any of the questions, and they were negotiating with us, she's only going to answer 3 questions, and these are the questions she's going to answer. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. All the other candidates answered these questions. They didn't give us the answers we wanted consistently, but everybody else did. No one's getting any special.
Wait, out of the 16, she didn't answer 3 of them, or she only wanted to answer 3 of them?
Only wanted to answer 3 of them.
Why is that? Did they give you the explanation?
No, it's just they were very difficult. I'll tell you, it was her campaign. Like all the other candidates were easy. Biden was difficult. We had him in before he dropped out. But at the end of her, as a matter of fact, I'm asking her questions, and my chief of staff slides over a piece of paper, and it says, "This will be the last question." Right? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So, all right, whatever. And it was like 25 minutes left of the time frame. So then she's summing up, and she, at the end, she looked right at me and my board, and she says, listen, we're going to win with you or without you. Like, who says that when you're asking for their endorsement?
In a big way.
You think?
So you spent one-on-one time with her? You had time with her?
I had time with every single candidate.
How different were some of the candidates privately than publicly?
I mean, privately, most people were, they were fine. They were, respectful.
Who did you like? That didn't win, obviously, but who was? Who
I tell you,
I really liked
who we had a philosophical difference of opinion with was, I think it was Asa Hutchinson. He matter-of-factly, stated why he was running for president. He was a Republican, right? And he was a perfect gentleman. He said, look, I don't agree with a lot of things that, your platform is. However, I do value American workers. I do value unionized workers. There's some difference of opinions. He was great. He did a great job. Joe Biden came in right then and there. You could tell he lost his fastball. One-on-one, nice man, nice elderly man. But, it was a shame on what his party put him through. Mm-hmm. I mean, I looked at that and I'm like, here's a nice man, public service his whole life, Like, why are they allowing him to go out this way? And, you know, to your point, one-on-one, great guy. When we were asking him questions, you know, he was saying a lot of the right things, and then, you know, he'd get confused a little bit. But all in all, everybody was respectful through the process.
What did you like most about Trump?
Look, he's crazy. I mean, you know, you never know what's going to come out of his mouth. What I liked most was the process. When we made the invite, I think it was 2024, to all the candidates, he was the first one to respond. Absolutely, love to do it. Love to do it at the building. We never had any presidential candidate at our building in D.C. meeting with our executive board and rank and file members from across the country. He was one of the first ones to commit and schedule. I mean, his campaign team was on point. Mostly all of the candidates were on point, but Trump. And when he came in, look, we gave him 16 questions a couple weeks in advance. None of them answered the questions how we wanted them. Some of them were stronger on certain issues, some of them weaker. I mean, Trump's whole focus was with us was on immigrant workers taking American jobs and working for less money. The 1099 issue came up. They're not getting benefits. They're not getting wages. You know, they're taking your job. So he focused a lot on that. And he focused a lot on just talking about himself. And, you know, I think at the time, the Democrats were so focused on the social justice platform that's where they lost a lot of our members, because a lot of our members were focused on inflation, focused on more money in their paychecks, focused on, you know, the issues that we weren't aligned with the social justice platforms that were out there. I mean, look, the reality of it, Teamsters has been around since 1903. We have negotiated the strongest contracts representing workers. We satisfy a lot of those social issues by having strong contracts, high middle-class wages, and the ability to retire. So our members weren't like buying into that rhetoric. And, you know, I think people were sick of and Trump was saying a lot of the things that were resonating with our members. And that's why, you know, a lot of our members, when we polled them, 65% of them were liking what they were hearing.
65% were for Trump.
Right.
And what percentage of your members are Republicans versus Democrats? Do you have that?
I don't have that figure offhand, but I would say it's still the majority of our members are probably still blue. You know, slightly blue. Yeah. And it depends where you live, right? You know, it depends. You know, you got the gun issue. You've got a lot of those issues that
that's a good point.
Our members identify with. So,
what are your biggest states? Biggest states and members?
Oh, we have California is probably our biggest state.
Number one.
Yeah, we have about 150,000 members there. New York, we have a high density. Chicago, all the big major cities. You know, but we do have a presence in every single state. We represent Canada, Guam, Puerto Rico, as well as, you know, the United States. So we have members in all 50 states. We have members in Puerto Rico, Guam, and we have about 130,000 in Canada.
Nowadays, more than ever, the brand you wear reflects and represents who you are. So for us, if you wear a Future Looks Bright hat or a Valuetainment gear, you're telling the world, I'm optimistic. I'm excited about what's going to be happening, but you're a free thinker. You question things. You like debate. And by the way, last year, 120,000 people got a piece of Future Looks Bright gear with Valuetainment. We have so many new things. The cufflinks are here. New Future Looks Bright. This is my favorite, the green one. Just yesterday, somebody placed an order for 100 of these. If you watch the PBD podcast, you got a bunch to choose from. White ones, black ones. If you smoke cigars and you come to our cigar lounge, we have this high quality lighter cutter and a holder for the cigars. We got sweaters with the Valuetainment logo on it. We got mugs. We got a bunch of different things. But if you believe the future looks bright, if you follow our content and what we represent with Valuetainment, with PBD Podcast, go to vtmerch.com. And by the way, if you order right now, there's going to be a special VT gift inside just for you. So again, go to vtmerch.com, place your order, tell the world that you believe the future looks bright. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.